then, welcome to the QNB preview show, all in English here on Alcas as we look ahead to all 6 matches in Week 16 in the company of former English Premier League players Nick Summerby and Chris Makin. Remember, just 12 teams in the league this season, so 22 matches only. Time is running out with just 7 rounds left, Chris Makin.
I don't think there's no margin for error now. This could be the defining weekend for whoever goes on to win the league championship. It's a very important weekend. And
tensions down at the bottom, Nick.
Yeah, the bottom 6. You've got to say Kratia are playing Marquette. Marquette only won 1 game, so that's big as well. And obviously, Al Arabi, they can't seem to get a victory. They're drawing a lot, so it's getting tight down there as well.
All right, then, let's head over now and join Shaden Wadan to hear of what the standings are after 15 weeks and how they line up for Week 16.
Thanks, Rodri. Al Duhail still lead the way with 39 points, but Al Sadd and Al Rayyan are still in with a chance of grabbing the title, but that will all depend on what happens in Week 16. Al Saliya are still hanging on to 4th place, but Slal and Al Gharrafa are closing in on them. Down at the bottom, Al Markhia are still struggling with only 1 win all season, while Al Kharaitiyat, Al Arabi and Qatar Sports Club continue to fight for points to stay away from danger. As for the fixtures, on Thursday the 8th of February, Al Gharrafa meet Al Duhail at 16:40 Doha time, and the Qatar Classico between Al Rayyan and Al Sadd kicks off at 18:50 at the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium. On Friday the 9th is Al Saliya against Qatar Sports Club at 16:40, and Al Khor against Slal at 18:50. On Saturday the 10th, Al Kharaitiyat face Al Markhia at 16:40, and Al Arabi face Al Ahli at 18:50.
Thank you very much, Shaden. First up, it's Al Gharrafa versus Al Duhail. OK, let's immediately remind ourselves of what Al Gharrafa did in Week 15, Chris. It was that game against Al Khor. Al Khor played very well, but Gharrafa got away with it in the end. I say got away with it. They are playing better. It's good under Bülent Ülgen. And, of course, Wesley Sneijder is there. And then he pops and he does this sort of thing. Things are looking good for them.
It is at the moment, position-wise, but they're going to get tested this weekend. They were tested severely against Al Sadd the other week when they lost by 4-0. This game against Al Khor, fully expected them to win that. This weekend's a different matter, but with Sneijder in the team, you know, big game player, who knows, and Bülent Ülgen, fantastic manager.
Moyad, good to see him back as well. You've both, Nick, been fans of his over the season, want to see more consistency and more of him.
Yeah, he does this every season, but not enough of it for us. He has the pace, he's got the skills. You know, he needs to be doing more than that so he can really get himself in that international scene. He drifts in and out in seasons. It just, you know, we want to see more of this because he excites. He's one of those players who excites. That was a wonderful goal by him.
OK, let's have a look up on the wall here. Something we've pulled out thanks to the company's stats. What we found out about Al Gharrafa in that week. Percentage of their passes in the final third. They're playing fairly defensively, bit of the Bülent Ülgen way here, but second best in percentage passes in the final third. Second best also in the final third passes, second to Duhail. And final third percentage passing accuracy, they're third. Al Duhail, Al Rayyan, Al Gharrafa. What do you think of that? I feel like I'm doing election night here, but I'm not. But what I'm trying to point out is...
Give me 5 minutes to soak it all in first.
What I'm getting at is efficiency, accuracy in the final third, Chris Makin.
What, scoring goals, you mean? Or defending, or both ends?
No, this is the both ends. This is the final third attacking.
Can I just tell you, you've gone really tricky on this one, haven't you?
I have.
You've got to realise I've got no qualifications at school, and I've had a panic attack here now. I can't look at it. It's like algebra for me. I'm having a panic up.
Very simple. If you're at the end of the table, or you want to get in the top 4, or go along with Al Rayyan and Al Sadd, you've got to be very effective at both ends. End of.
Yeah. The only thing is with this game, there's 19 points difference. I mean, as good as what Sneijder is, you know, that's the difference in the game, really. The qualities, you know, and on a one-off game it could happen, but, you know, this is their test. They got tested against Al Sadd, now they've got to go again, so it's going to be interesting.
OK, we'll get rid of the numbers because that might just stress you out a little bit. So let's go to moving pictures now. We all love that. They're up against Al Duhail. Nick, this was a convincing 4-0 win against Al Ahly, although Al Ahly didn't seem to provide too much resistance, but nevertheless, De Gea, they don't care who they play against. They give it the same sort of standard and make sure of a good win.
They want to get the job done. They want to get it done as soon as possible. You know, they've done all the hard work. I mean, when I say the hard work at the start of the season, when you've got to get the motivation, and they've done that, so now the end is near for them and they want to get it done. But what we've seen here with a lot of their goals, it's not just pure football through midfield. A lot of these goals have come from a long ball from the back. You know, and all of a sudden, so their whole game has changed. Not only do they open the game up and go use the width, you know, they do a few long balls as well. I mean, Masatni he's getting from strength to strength, and rightly so. He's got a World Cup at the end of the season, so he's on fire at the moment, as is the rest of the team. This is the team to beat. This is it. They've got 7 games left, and someone
it could be a great
around
weekend.
it.
Could be a great weekend.
It could be. It could be.
And it all stems, as you've both always said, from their head coach, Al Duhail, Jamel Belmadi.
The team to change a lot during this transfer market, and we can see that the new players, say the new technical staff, had a big impact in the result of them. They won most of the games, so we know that now, and. Us, from our side, we want to continue in this dynamic. We want to win again. We know that we have to see also the others. It will be a big games between Al Rayyan and Al Sadd. Interesting game for us. So it can have this day can have a big impact in the league.
Now, I'm not sure about you, I've taken quite a lot out of this because Jamel Belmadi, very seldom does he talk about the other teams. He starts that off saying about Al Gharafa, well, they've been quite busy and they've strengthened, you know, we've seen that. And then he says, and of course, and Al Rayyan, Al Sadd, they've still got a chance to catch us. Is this the weekend where things change? Chris?
Go 5 points clear, my estimation.
Is that right?
If they beat Al Gharafa and the other 2 draw.
That's right. But
5 points ahead, 6 games to go, they're not getting caught.
But you never, I don't get that. Suddenly he's aware of the other teams around him. Normally he's like this, I don't care. We're just going, you know.
It's that time of the season now, isn't
it? Chrissy just hit it perfectly there. You know, this could be a massive, this could have them pretty much got both hands on the trophy there. Because you've got to remember, the other game is so important to the pair of them.
Right, well,
and when it's that important, for me, it might just be a draw.
We'll get to that game next. So give me a prediction. Al Gharafa, Al Duhail.
3-1, Duhail.
Chris?
Exactly the same.
All right. Next up, it's Al Rayyan versus Al Sadd. Right, let's go to the wall here to put it into context straight away, guys. There it is for you. Okay, so there's Al Duhail. They're 2 points clear of Al Sadd in second. Al Rayyan are 4 points behind Al Duhail. Okay, we've got Al Salia. They're the ones hanging on to 4th at the moment. But this is what we're focusing on. 1, 2, and 3. And this match is about 2 and 3. So when you just look at the points there, that's it in context. So Al Rayyan win, they go to 38. They go above Al Sadd, but they could be 1 point behind Al Duhail, depending what they do, or they could be 4 points behind.
I mean, what do we want really to try and keep the league going? Probably an Al Sadd victory. I think if Al Rayyan, it's just time. All it is there is time is running out to try for hoping that Duhail are going to slip up.
If both of these win, it's still a 4 point gap. You need Al Sadd to keep the title race going.
There'll be a 4 point gap with 6 rounds left.
If they both win,
yes, if
you know, Al Rayyan going to get that 4 point gap back on Al Duhail.
I think it's difficult for Al Rayyan. I do literally think time's run out. Al Sadd, if they do get this victory, they keep it going, they keep the dream going, really. Hopefully that Duhail do slip up.
OK, let's focus on Al Rayyan. What did they do in week 15? Well, they're on a good run as well at the moment. Well, they have been all season. This was... it's just their goals we're focusing on. Sebastian putting one in there. They beat Marchia comfortably, despite going behind, but comfortably in the end, Chris.
Yeah, the big chance for me in this title race was the week before when Ryan came up against Al Duhail and we were 3-2 up. Magnificent chance to get the 3 points. Then, for me, the title race is blown wide open, but I fully expected this one against Al Marchia. Not too much firepower, Al Rayyan. But this Hamadallah, one of those players that going into this derby game at the weekend, he could prove to be the difference. There's so many players on the pitch that can make a difference at the weekend. I'll probably go for a draw, but Tabata, Hamadallah, You've got Xavi on the other side, maybe a Afif or Benezia might be fit. So many players that can win the match on their own.
Yeah, you're talking about that firepower there, and yes, it is immense there at Al Rayyan, but there is a key factor that's coming in again this weekend. Before we discuss it, it'll come up in what Michael Laudrup has had to say ahead of this match.
If we lose and Tuchel wins, then it would be 7 points, and it would be very difficult. Also because the Tuchel is so strong. So Al Sadd and Rayyan, we need to win to continue to have a hope for that. So of course, who will lose this Clásico? If Tuchel wins against Garafa, of course we'll have less possibilities. Now you all know that from this round, the rule of that you have to put under 23 in the start 11 will come back. So that, of course, is a challenge because that means we have to make some changes in our team. I understand the idea, but I'm not very happy about it. Because that you have to start with a player from under 23 in the start 11, and then you can take him out after 5 minutes, which I don't want to do. As I said, it's not perfect. It's not very good. And all the best players from under 23, some are out, some are here, but I don't think it has been a success. And I've seen a lot of games, and I've seen a lot of games where coaches have taken the players out in the first half. And you can go into a head of a player, even if he's under 23, and if he's on from minute 1 and after 30 minutes out, this is not very good for the player. It's not a problem if you have Akram Afif or you have Moaz. But the problem, there are only these two. And these two players, they would play, even if they were 24, 25, or they would play also in the start 11. So this is about quality. I repeat, I understand the idea. You want young players to come into the team to get experience. But the problem is you don't have enough players who can go into all the teams. As I repeat, Moaz, Akram Afif, even if they are 22 or 25, they will play in the start 11. But many of the other under 23 players who are playing in a different team would not play from the start.
Very open and very honest Michael Laudrup there, Nick Summerby.
I'll tell you what, it's a difficult argument, but I'll tell you what I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for the youngsters coming through. You know, we speak, I mean, Chris has said it quite a few times, there was a route through to us, there was a way in which they haven't got, if you're not playing in the first team, the league's not strong enough behind. That has to be worked on that. You've got to give these lads a chance so they're ready to go in. You know, what's the league below is it's so difficult, and it's the same in a lot of the Premier League clubs. They don't play games against men. It's very difficult for them to put them in, and I feel sorry for them more than anything.
Do you want to say on what Laudrup said there?
I can see Moaz going into Al Dahel's team, but there's no guarantee that Afif's going to go into Al Sadd's lineup.
It's a good point. There isn't a guarantee. Let's have a look what Al Sadd were doing without Bunja, without Akram Afif as well in the 3-1 win against Qatar Sports Club. Again, we're focusing on the goals of, we won't see the Qatar Sports Club goal here, but, you know, this is what happened. They went behind. Xavi brought them back in. That's the class they've got. Hassan, a young player who's very effective. Under 23. And in fact, to be fair to Jesualdo Ferreira, in his starting squad, most of the time there's about 3 or 4 in the whole squad.
I think there were 319s on the bench.
There we go. There we go. So it's an interesting...
But why have Al Sadd and Al Dahel got all these young players and Al Rayyan don't?
Well, again, it's an argument. You could put your hand up and Mr. Michael Laudrup could ask, well, why?
Well, okay, here's your other one then. We'll flip it a little bit because there's that many different arguments there. Give someone that's not really got a chance to play in the team. Just say they're going to give you 5 minutes there now, even though you know he's not good enough yet. Someone really, there you go for 5 minutes, I want to bring you off on it, just to give you a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, but you think that's good, Michael Laudrup didn't. We can discuss it.
Yeah, but this is somebody who's not really good enough, who's probably a little bit too young. I mean, there was a thing with Manchester City the other day with Guardiola. He left the bench clear, and as many people arguing, saying, well, why don't you put a young kid on the bench there to give him the experience? Why don't you give somebody the experience every 10 minutes? I'm going to bring you off in a minute, but just it's going to be a bit of there's a little bit of an idea.
But you can see he doesn't believe in that. Those are his beliefs. It's very, very interesting discussion. Let's hear now from Al Sadd's head coach,
Jesualdo Ferreira. In this moment, only Doyle and Sad have the chances to be champion with our work only, because don't depends for the other ones. Means that Ryan in this moment depends from the other results for come champion. You understand what I said? Akram is a good player. Everybody knows him. I know him the moment that I saw here the qualification for the Olympic Games. You remember here? But now, like all the other players, he don't know this. He don't know me. He don't know the Assad. He don't know the other players. But he know, but he don't play with everybody together. So he needs to learn what is our conception, what is our game, what is our way for win the games. It's more one player, very important. It's not because he's under 23, but it's because he's a good player, younger good player, like you have others, like I said before. Thank you.
Your response, Chris, to Josué Ferreira?
I like what he said at the start, where it's in Al Sadd and Al Dahale's hands. And with that quote, I've just changed my mind on the prediction.
That's... Ooh.
He's just swayed me.
That's all right. Well, I tell you what, this might sway you as well. Akram Afif is training, but in the squad expected to be in this match is Bunja is set to be back. Now, on the bench, will he start? I don't know that at the moment. But
that'd be great, that.
Nick?
No, he's massive. Yeah. What I read into as well before about Afif, I don't think he thinks he's ready yet. I think he's got to understand. That's what I get out of that. I think he's nearly there. Got to learn a little bit now. He doesn't feel he's ready. He said at the end he's going to be a good player, but not ready now. But obviously, if Bunja comes in, forget about all that. He goes in. He's that important to them. He could raise it. He could raise it so much with him just being on the pitch, even if he's 70% fit. You know, he's the one. He's a ticket. He's the one that could see them win the league with a bit of luck.
Al Rayyan versus Al Sadd.
Al Sadd for me, 2-0.
2-0. Chris, who's changed his mind after listening to Josué?
Naughty.
Naughty. What is it?
3-2, Rod.
Al Sadd. 3-2. Al Sadd. All right.
I've said Ryan aren't going to get a goal.
Oh, behave. Al Salia versus Qatar Sports Club. Al Salia, goals from week 15. It ended up, Nick, being a 2-2 draw with Al Kharatiyat, this one. Once again, Wagner, lovely goal from him pouncing early there, but they couldn't hold on to it.
No, they couldn't. Touch not happening for them at the moment. You know, they've got to get a win somehow or other, even if it's not pretty. Got to try and keep a clean sheet and get a win. They're holding on to it because Garaffa are breathing down the net. This boy's good sign that Wagner gets a goal. Need more from Timur. You know, he needs to start scoring as well. But I mean, there's another great goal there for Majdi, but did they peak too early? Can they get back to what they were like at the start? It's not happening at the moment. So this is a big game and a very tough game as well.
So what is the problem, Sami Trabelsi?
That maybe we are one of the 2 or 3 teams who don't change a lot of players. Sure, we are in the first half more better, but we speak about Celia. We don't speak about Sadd or Rayyan, or we don't have a lot of big players. We have good players, and they do all the best. We think this maybe 1 or 2 games we draw because we lose a lot of opportunity. We don't score a lot. In opposite, we conceded easy goal. You see last game, for example, we have maybe 5 or 6 opportunity to score, but the opposite team, they have only 2 balls and they score 2 goals.
We hear that sort of story quite often, don't we? Missed opportunities. Chris?
Could I just say something? Why is it so important now? Why is it everyone's got to change players and bring players into the squad to have a successful season or run a game? Why is this happening all of a sudden?
Well, and especially
they don't play enough games.
No, especially for teams
games
in the league. Then some who are playing in all cup competitions who get to the final who also play in the AFC Champions League. But that's only a small number of teams.
It's not certain that if you bring players in, you're going to have a successful time. So why? I don't understand all this. They've changed players, we haven't. Well,
but look at De Gea, they haven't changed. And by the way, Trabelsi changed his side a lot. They brought about 4 or 5 players
They
in,
did.
so he's done that. So come on, Sammy, you're not as confident as what you were at the start. Don't you start making excuses now. He said the other week, he said, well, we're going to win. We're in to win everything. He's changed his opinion a little bit.
Right, OK, they're up against Qatar Sports Club. What you two picked out from week 15. This is Qatar Sports Club, who did quite well. Things quite settled there now under Abdullah Mubarak, but trying to play it out with the back, getting caught, putting themselves under too much pressure, Chris.
Nicky wasn't happy, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Naughty Nicky wasn't
Naughty
happy.
Nicky. Well, talk us through it. Why, why did they do this?
I haven't got a problem with playing out the back. I've told you before in the review show, as long as you do it at certain stages or decision making is absolutely crucial here. Keeper, you 1-0 up after 10 minutes, boom, get hold of the ball, back 4, squeeze up, let's turn them just for 5 or 10 minutes, and then Al-Sad might drop off, then you can start playing from the back.
But roll it out right in front, you're under the cost straight away again.
Yeah, but they're not in the game at all. You've got them 1-0, you've come out really getting at them, you've caught them off guard. Don't give them anything. So when you're playing a game of football, a pass out of play lifts your opposition up. You go, hang on a minute. And they started playing after that. Don't let them in. Don't open the door for them at all. Once you do that, you can't get back into the game. And that just ruined a wonderful performance by Qatar. They played fantastic, by the way, at the start.
Chris gets first shout here. Al Salia, Qatar Sports Club.
2-2.
Another 2-2 draw. OK.
Drawing week for me.
He sat on the fence with that one there, Chris.
There you go. Go on, Al Salia, Qatar Sports Club.
Qatar 2-1.
Okay. Next up, Al Khor versus Salal. Right, Al Khor, as we said, played well on the weekend, losing out to Garafa. Pulled this out, which I thought was very interesting from stats. Al Khor attempted 25 shots against Al Garafa, with 10 shots hitting the target. Both their highest totals in a single game this season. One thing I don't include in this was Madsen, who had 9 shots on target, plus 6 assists to shots, which was 15, which was the highest total out of anybody in the league.
No, it's brilliant, but they just need to win. Simple as that. I mean, that's good. There's positive. I do like the manager, but they need a win. I don't see them going down because I think there's worse sides with them. But the sooner this win comes, they can be rewarded for getting all these shots and getting and creating opportunities. But at the moment, once again, they're one of the teams down there what could very easily get brought into it because they just can't get the victory. So. We do all the time. We try our hardest not to mention Madsen, but that guy is driving them. It's phenomenal what he keeps doing season after season. How many efforts does he have and how many goals is he scoring? They need other players. Have got to help him out a little bit.
Salal are their opponents. They've changed their head coach. They've got Talal Al Khakouri now, who actually has got a long history of playing for PSG, Sunderland in the UK, Charlton Athletic as well. He's played for Salal. Played here, so. What's he got at his disposal there? Can he turn them around, Salal?
We don't know. He's never been a coach before. Yeah. Sorry, he's never been a manager. He's I think he's done a bit of coaching at the football club. Never been a manager, so I haven't got a clue. Don't know.
OK, so...
They've struggled to score goals. For me, they're not that far off the top 4, are they? They're just behind Al Salia. And I don't think Salal have reached the peak. They haven't played as well as they could have this season.
What did he say to you when you spoke to him today? Khakouri?
No, he just said he's got to. He can't work. He can't make big changes straight away now. But he's just got to lift the spirit up and get them tight. He sees they've made a few mistakes, but just get them back on track. And a victory does that straight away.
Al Khor, Salal, then Nick.
Cool, that's a tricky one. That I think I'll go for a 2-2 on this one.
I
think I'll sit on the fence on this one.
Yeah, 1-1.
Oh, OK. Next, Al Khartiat versus Al Markhia. Al Khartiat, week 15, 2 lovely goals. It got them a very, very good draw. And I say good because Al Khartiat have been struggling to get any points. This man, Tibor Kanin, he's the man who regularly pops up and scores the goals. Unfortunately, it hasn't been enough to get him points in this season, but it did in week 15.
2 great finishes, by the way. He's doing his job. If you look at the stats through the squad, you look at Tibor Kanin, he's got 10 goals, 11 goals. He's doing his job. Yeah. Are the other players doing their job? Is Deba creating enough chances? Is he getting enough goals? Are the defence keeping enough clean sheets? The other areas of the team, they're not really doing their job, are they?
They're up against Al Markhia. You both spoke to Yusuf Adam this morning, before this weekend, so what's he said?
It's a winner-take-all, pair of them at the bottom of the table. Yeah. Markhia have won 1 game all season. You know, it's disastrous for him. You've got to start saying that now and be really honest. You know, he's been given the tools. We repeat myself. He's brought some players in, some fantastic, but he's let some go as well. Carey and Traore, what a wonderful. How have you let him go? He's been given everything, but they need a victory. This, to me, if you're Kratia, you'd be licking your lips thinking, yeah, come on, we can do this now.
So
this
you can have first shout again then.
Is there a big performance there from Marquia? No, I'm going to sway it towards Kratia. I'm going to say 1-0 Kratia.
7 games ago, he's buckled, hasn't he? It's the first time he's not gone without Marquia for a while.
He's tried, he's been pushing them all season. Al-Khatiyat Marquia for
Draw,
you.
Rodders, 1-1.
1-1. OK, finally, it's Al Arabi versus Al Ahly. All right, Al Arabi.
Yeah, draw. We'll all say draw. You've got to say draw. This is your bank of this.
Hang on a minute. Before, just in case, Gesualdo Ferreira changed your mind for you after you heard from him. Yep. Let's hear first from Al Arabi head coach Luka Bonasic.
I think now it is team stay under pressure, you know, because when there's still 4 games, draw, lost 1-0 against Hill, draw, you know, but we need. I think we need the last third, last 25 meters, you know, some player who have some imagination, like Hazard, like these guys, you know. It is not a tactical point, you know. Last 20 meters come the personal quality of the players. But we have some good players, you know, like this Ibrahim Khalfan and this Fatih, now Kari. But I don't know. Maybe we need some more confidence for you know, take last 25 meters, more courage, to go to 1 against 1.
Bit more confidence? Is that what they need? Is it, Nick?
Just a bit more life, a little bit there, to be honest with you. I know there's a couple of draws. Listen, he's done. It's a different situation there, but what he talked about is the last 20 minutes. So we'll have to have a look at that ourselves. Obviously, they're struggling a little bit. I don't know if they turn off.
Fancies Hazard, doesn't he? Might bring Hazard in.
Yeah. I thought, you know, they have to look at now. Are they fit? He questioned that at the start. So he had the halfway mark when he said he was going to get them back fit, but doesn't look very confident, does he, in winning games of football in what he's saying then?
Well, they're up against Al Ahly, who in week 15 fell apart really against Al Duhail. OK, Al Duhail are a strong team, but what Chris and Nick felt, they didn't have a fight. So what they asked the head coach, Jorge Perez del Campos, in the press conference was, first of all, how did he think they did in that game against Al Duhail?
Okay, we know that the last game was very difficult for us. They have a very good level. And okay, but in every situation we were good. In another don't. But okay, it's our step to improve. But sometimes when under pressure we take the ball and arrive up. Not all the game, of course, because they are very good team. But okay, for me, it's not so happy. But okay, we see that we want.
Okay, they see what they want. He wasn't that happy. Your response, because you threw the question at him, Nick, and I know you were furious after their performance against Al Duhail.
Yeah, I think it's lost probably a little bit in translating because he answers it both ways. He's unhappy, he's happy. It wasn't good enough, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a good job in the position where they are. There wasn't the energy there, the passing, they were all over the place, they didn't look organised. And they've got to do a lot better.
Well, they're capable of better, Chris. We've seen better.
They were with Muntari and Chikawi, but Chikawi's missing through suspension this weekend. Muntari's gone back. For me, struggling to score goals, same as Al Arabi, which leads to
a draw.
First ever time this season, 0-0. Have we ever had a 0-0 before?
I don't think either of you have predicted. We've seen a few, but you haven't predicted any.
No goal scorers on the pitch.
Right, 0-0.
Al Arabi 1-0.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Let's head back to Shadin Wadan, who will once again remind us of the way they stand after 15 weeks and how they line up going into week 16. Shadin.
Thanks, Rodri. Al Duhail still lead the way with 39 points. But Al Sadd and Al Rayyan are still in with a chance of grabbing the title, but that will all depend on what happens in week 16. Al Saliya are still hanging on to 4th place, but Slal and Al Gharrafa are closing in on them. Down at the bottom, Al Markhia are still struggling with only one win all season, while Al Kharaitiyat, Al Arabi and Qatar Sports Club continue to fight for points to stay away from danger. As for the fixtures, on Thursday the 8th of February, Al Gharrafa meet Al Duhail at 16:40 Doha time, and the Qatar Classico between Al Rayyan and Al Sadd kicks off at 18:50 at the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium. On Friday the 9th is Al Saliya against Qatar Sports Club at 16:40, and Al Khor against Slal at 18:50. On Saturday the 10th, Al Kharaitiyat face Al Markhia at 16:40, and Al Arabi face Al Ahli at 18:50.
Thank you, Sharon. So we're all set for week 16 of the QNB Stars League. From Chris Makin, Nick Summerby and myself, bye for now.